Two more. Let's rapid fire because, of course, we always say it's going to be short and it never is.
No, it isn't. But that's okay. All right. Washington and Columbus. The Caps, 51 points. Again, in that three-way tie with Pittsburgh and New Jersey for that fifth spot, a point behind the Islanders. 4-5-1 in their last 10 as well. The Capitals are. And what do we have to say about Washington?
I had a couple in the preseason rankings, a couple of hills that I died on, and a couple of moments where I said, I'd like the record to show that I'm saying X. Well, this is the only one that I was 100% right about. The others, I might have been a spot or two off, or a couple aspects of the game I was wrong about with my my stake in the ground, but the Washington Capitals, I had them in 7th place because I said that they took a step back last year in goal scoring. They're getting older, and they're going to continue to get older, continue to be hurt often, and not score. Well, this team is not scoring goals. They're also hit with injury bugs left, right, and center, and the older guys are continuing to take steps back. They're third last in goals. For a team that was just historically good at scoring over the last 10 years or more. They're third last in expected goals, so it's not like they're being unlucky or, things aren't working out for them. They're just not good at scoring goals now. Ovechkin has 9 goals, is unbelievable, and he's still leading this team with 31 points in 44 games. Mm-hmm. So not much else I need to say about this team. It's unfortunate that Pacioretty continues to get hurt, same as Backstrom. There are guys that, Dylan Strome continues to be a bright spot on this team, but Wilson isn't where we expected him to be after signing a contract, and Oshie continues to regress, and it's just looking more and more like a rebuild coming for the Washington Capitals and their minus 31 goal differential.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that's all it is. And I feel like the goal differential will be a lot worse if not for Charlie Lindgren, who's played pretty well this year, and he was good last year too. But yeah, man, the craziest thing about this team, in case you hit the nail on the head in the preseason talking about this and predicting this, they just can't score, which is shocking because Alex Ovechkin might be the best goal scorer in NHL history. He's chasing down that record still. And this is the first season, I think it's fair to say, over the last 5 years where the record feels almost out of reach. If the scoring continues to go like this, he has 9 goals and we're 47 games into this season right now. 9 goals. That's it. Not even on pace for 20 goals. That would be, it will be his lowest goal total ever. And the record just feels almost impossible. Whereas every year leading up to this one, it felt like all but, like a foregone conclusion that it was going to happen. So it is a little concerning. Dylan Strome has 19 goals and Ovi has 9. That's if you told me that at the start of the year, 47 games in, those would be the numbers, I wouldn't believe you. It is just shocking. I will say, even though the team as a whole isn't generating a ton of chances, like you said, Case, I think they're 30th in expected goals for or something. That's just not their identity anymore. Ovi is shooting below expected. He should have about 6 more goals according to the numbers. I don't know if maybe you can factor in some age regression there, if he's just not as accurate anymore or can't shoot the puck as hard. It seems like quite the drop off, and I want to attribute it more to being unlucky rather than just forgetting how to score goals. Because he personally is still generating chances.
When I said there would be regression in this team and less goal scoring, I wasn't talking about Ovechkin. So
no, of course not. Of course not.
It's crazy. The guy has stood in the same spot on the power play for 15 plus years now and continued to score goals, even though teams know what he's doing. So I don't know. It's shocking that this is the first year it's not happening.
Well, it is shocking, and I mean, we kind of saw this drop off with a guy like Teemu Selanne all those years ago, right? And so it does happen. I'm gonna go ahead and say that he doesn't get the scoring record. I mean, anything could happen. It is Alex Ovechkin at the end of the day, but
how many does he need right now? Can we look this up just so I can make a prediction here?
Sure, but. While we're looking that up, I mean, look, a lot of miles put on that body, and he's been pretty much like healthy for the most part of his career. Like, he hasn't missed significant time like a Sidney Crosby, where there was a one point in time we were worried about, Crosby's career being over with all those concussions and everything. And so I just think, again, Elliot Friedman's line, Father Time is undefeated. It applies to certain guys at certain times. Right now, it's showing with Ovechkin a little bit. He's older, and just hasn't looked as noticeable. And again, another factor why this team isn't scoring goals is Evgeny Kuznetsov, and that continues to be a problem for this team. He's in and out of the lineup. He's playing on the fourth line. You don't even notice him on a lot of nights, and they've got to find a solution there because he has not been the same player, that same driving force that he was that year that they won the Stanley Cup in 2018. Anyway, did you find how many goals he is back?
Yes, so he needs 63 goals. He signed for 2 more years after this one at 9.5. So 63 goals.
I think that's so doable, man. If he scores 10 more goals or
say he scores
10 more goals this year, then I don't know. I think he can continue to put up 20 goal seasons for
that would be 27 goals a season, 26 and a half over the next 2 years he's signed. And if he's short, he'll sign a 1-year deal, probably do it.
Yeah.
Because by the end of it, he will be... How old will he be at the end of his deal?
40.
40, okay. Yeah, like, I'm not going to go as far as to say he doesn't hit it. But all I wanted to say is this is the first year that it's felt like it might be in question.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year we were like, oh, it's happening. Now we're like, doing math.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, given that information, I'll change my stance a little bit and say that it's not totally going to happen, that, it could, there's still a possibility there because I could still see him hitting 20 goals this season and maybe going on like a 3 or 4 game rip or something.
I'm surprised that this isn't like at the top of every hockey section on every sports book. Like, this should be like to bet on it, like whether he does or doesn't
break the record.
Yeah. Like, yes, probably. Like, I don't know. Do we think it's more likely than? I think it's more likely than not. So maybe it's just not worth it to bet on it because there's no value. Anyway, I don't know.